Welcome back to Asia Now. Today I'll tell you about why is Conan O'Brien in the Philippines, Japanese man extorted for 10 million pesos, Philippines immigration officer in hot water for helping Filipina leave the country through the back door, an Indian tourist gets jumped and hospitalized after public urination in Pattaya, and much more. Let's dive straight into our main story. American TV host and comedian Conan O'Brien made a surprise visit to the Philippines to film scenes for his travel show Conan O'Brien Must Go. O'Brien shared photos on Instagram showing him exploring Bonifacio Global City, BGC, in Taguig, Manila, greeting fans and posing for pictures. In his caption, he wrote, "Mabuhay Philippines, just landed in Manila to shoot Hashtag Conan O'Brien must go, and I've already met so many amazing people," end quote. Fans, including local TV personalities like Drew Arellano, expressed excitement and encouraged him to hold a meet and greet. The episodes detailed are still on the wraps of the series, which premiered April 2024, follows O'Brien as he connects with fans and explores cultures around the world. Before this trip, O'Brien was in the spotlight earlier this year while hosting the 2025 Oscars, which were postponed due to wildfires in LA. To be honest, I don't know nothing about Conan O'Brien. I just know he's really tall, a ginger, and kind of obnoxious is the word. I don't know. I can't really judge the dude. I never watched the show. But leave your thoughts down below. What do you think of O'Brien particularly, or the fact that he came to the Philippines, or if you watched the show, anything you want to share. Staying in the Philippines, the NBI arrested Abdullah Tahir Asnawi in Pasay City for illegal recruitment and human trafficking after attempting to take a 20-year-old woman to Saudi Arabia using an Umrah visa. The victim was ineligible to work there due to her age. Ansawi was not licensed by the Department of Migrant Workers to recruit overseas workers and allegedly exploited the woman's financial situation. He now faces charges under Anti-Trafficking and Persons Act. Meanwhile, immigration officer John Ray Fidrogani, who initially cleared their departure, has been charged for facilitating the victim's exit but remains at large. Yeah, if you want to be working abroad, you have to go through the proper channels in the Philippines. Like they mentioned, there's a whole department for that. And the Saudi person tried to, I don't know if it's about really labor. You can find very cheap labor in Saudi Arabia. There's a lot of migrants there already. So maybe try to have a wife or second wife. Ha, a Muslim joke. But the point is, yeah, he can't be leaving without the Department of Workers, OFW people knowing about it and making sure they know your whereabouts, your work conditions, and everything like that. The Philippines claims they're protecting individuals from leaving the country and going to trafficking rings. And then let's go to Thailand. Indian tourist hospitalized after Pattaya brawl over public urination. An Indian man, 52 years old, was seriously injured in Pattaya early today, October 13th, following a dispute over public urination outside a market on Pattaya 2nd Road. The altercation began around 12:46 a.m. when locals advised him to use a public facility, which he reportedly ignored, sparking an argument that escalated into a physical fight. Paramedics found the man unconscious with injuries, performed CPR before transporting him to a local hospital. Witnesses say 4 Thai individuals were involved, which caused the victim to fall and hit his head. CCTV footage has been secured and police are investigating the suspect for potential charges. The suspects, I should say. Yeah, I guess nothing new particularly, but if someone tells you to use the facilities, public bathrooms are widely available in Pattaya, and you ignore them, locals will whoop your ass, basically, is what's going on. And somebody made a joke saying this Indian dude thought he was still in his living room. But the point is, guys, I know somebody might say, oh, wait, look at here, man. Locals do it too, but that doesn't make that okay either. Maybe locals shouldn't be pissing on the ground either if there's public facilities available. And lastly, it's their country. So as a tourist, we have to follow the local laws and the rules. Let me know what you think of them pissing on the street and getting the piss kicked out of them after. More bad news for Indians in Thailand. An Indian man was arrested and charged after he was seen widely threatening people with a pistol-shaped lighter in Siam Square in Bangkok. Fool of a man. In the Philippines, Japanese national and 2 others arrested over 10 million peso extortion attempt in Manila. Authorities from the NBI have arrested a Japanese man identified as Akira Machida, along with 2 Filipino associates, Glenn Huerto and Christopher Maramag, in Manila. The operation stemmed from complaints by 2 Japanese contractors who said they were pressured to provide 10 million pesos after a business dispute. The victim had been hired to renovate a Machida's cafe for 4.7 million pesos, but were only partially paid. When the renovation was halted due to lack of funds, disagreements reportedly escalated, leading to alleged intimidation. NBI agents conducted an entrapment operation October 1st, successfully taking the 3 suspects into custody. They are now facing charges of grave threat under cybercrime prevention. The case highlights the importance of lawful conflict resolution and serves as a reminder that harassment and coercion is unlawful. I guess some kind of disagreement when it came to payments, renovation, the type of job. I don't know who's really at fault based on the story, but I guess whoever broke the law. Let's go to Cebu now. 64 sinkholes found after the 6.9 quake in northern Cebu, and Davao's tallest building had been marked unsafe based on their recent earthquake. The whole country seems to be shaking recently. There's still aftershocks going around. Yeah, be careful where you're walking, what you're stepping into if you're in northern Cebu. And then deported Lebanese man re-enters Thailand and does the same thing again. So tourist police and Koh arrested a 46-year-old Lebanese man in Thailand, Mr. John, on October 13th for running an illegal motorcycle rental business, despite having been deported in 2024 for similar offenses. I think I covered that story. Police seized 12 motorcycles and one car after catching him teaching a tourist to ride and accepted cash payments. He operated under a tourist visa without a work permit, using WhatsApp under the name Gene to rent vehicles mainly to Israeli tourists. Authorities said he mocked officers during his arrest and faces charges for working illegally and operating an unlicensed business. The case underscores Thailand's struggle to curb foreigner abusing tourist visas for profit. How about it highlights the fact that how does man get back to the country, bro? No wonder he's mocking you. No offense, Thai government. Like I tell you guys, a lot of foreigners get off very easy in Thailand, as our next story or two will prove my point. 4 Israeli tourists were detained in Koh Phangan after police responded to complaints about a late-night party disrupting nearby guests. Officers found illegal substances during the inspection. The group, who said they were soldiers on leave, admitted to using substances at a private celebration. All 4 were taken to the station for testing and legal processing following the discovery, which I'm sure will be let go early morning with a couple $100 bribe. More misbehaving tourists in Pattaya. A Brazilian woman has been detained after assaulting a traffic police officer who was on duty. The altercation reportedly started after a traffic stop. The woman resisted orders and physically struck the officer before being subdued by a backup. Eyewitnesses recorded the parts of the incident on their phones, and the footage has circulated online. The woman is now in police custody facing assault charges. Local expats and tourist communities are monitoring the case closely, both for due process and for how foreign nationals are treated in Thailand. Pretty well. And lastly, I wonder how these 9 Myanmar workers will be treated. 9 Myanmar workers have been arrested for illegally contracting to build houses for an Israeli businessman on Koh Phangan. People were quick to say, well, what about the person that hired them? What about the Israeli guy or whoever's, hiring these basically minimum wage day laborers? It's easy to arrest them and kick them back to Myanmar. But what about the people behind it? What about the money that's being funneled into Koh Phangan, Koh Samui, and all these, like I've been saying for the past week, illegal land occupation? That's not maybe a best way of putting it, but land purchases using like a Thai nominee, basically a Thai partner. There's a lot going on in Thailand with all that stuff. There's a bunch of information out there if you guys want to do your own research, but that is the latest about the Philippines and Thailand. Now for our new segment, like I said yesterday, every time somebody buys me a coffee, I'm going to do a physical photo of what I bought. And here's a picture of the coffee that I bought from Jim's donation yesterday. So thank you, Jim, once again. It was no particularly feel-good moment of the day, but here's our comment section, which hopefully is a little bit more positive. Thank you to Dave with a $5 super thanks to the channel. Don Wright says, Americans spoiling it for expats again. Alex says, people should follow the immigration laws of the country they are in. Kevin Venture, Philippines says, bro, I'm a musician, meaning I started with nothing and have almost all of it left, LOL. Now, on a serious note, never take your life. If it's a girl, you can meet a new one, and those feelings will eventually fade. If it's money, ask around. Us folk can teach you how to be okay. Just never hurt yourself. There's always a way out. And always remember, you matter. And I'm glad he said that. Let's end on that note, something positive. You do matter, no matter your age, your ethnicity, your race, your weight. There's a lot of these things you can actually control, and you may not know it. I know sometimes it feels like you cannot, and it's really bad. I don't wish depression on anybody. It's not a place you want to be in. So even reach out to me, email me at talknowcanada@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.